What if the reason your workshop idea never made you money has nothing to do with your topic, your pricing, or your audience size, and everything to do with one missing piece you've never been told about? You hit publish on the registration page at 9 p.m., your head starts racing a little because this is the workshop you've been talking about for months. You shared it everywhere. You refreshed the page 11 times in 2 days, and on the night of the workshop, you log into your Zoom room 10 minutes early, hands wrapped around a cup of coffee that's gone cold, watching the little waiting room counter sit at 0, then 1, then it stops. But you start anyway because what else are you going to do? I want you to stay with me on this one because by the end of this video, I'm going to hand you the exact thing that separates a workshop people pay for from a workshop people skip. And I'm going to tell you why most women build that piece bass-ackwards without even realizing it. And then later on in this video, I'll show you the fastest way to package what you know, even if you've never run a workshop in your entire life. Now let's talk about creating a workshop people will pay for, because I think we've been overcomplicating this for way too long. That empty waiting room wasn't a sign your skills weren't valuable. It was a sign you built the content first and the transformation second, when it should have been the other way around. Here's the thing, you've got skills, real skills, the kind of skills people ask you about at work, in your group chat, at family gatherings, the kind of skills where someone says,
"Wait, can you explain that again?"
And you realize you just casually solved a problem that's been stressing them out for months. At some point you thought,
I should turn this into a workshop because people would pay for this.
so you built one. You wrote out a presentation, you picked a date, you posted about it a few times and crossed your fingers, and either nobody showed up or people showed up for free, but nobody showed up when you tried to charge for it. I want to offer you a different perspective on this right now, because your workshop didn't fail because your knowledge wasn't valuable. It failed because of where you started from. Listen, people do not pay for information. They pay for a result they couldn't get on their own. And that right there is the entire foundation of everything we're about to talk about. Think about it this way. Information is everywhere. Anyone can find a free video, a blog post, or a podcast episode covering basically any topic you can imagine. So if your workshop is just delivering information, you're competing with infinite free content, and you will lose that fight every single time, no matter how good your slides are. What people pay for is a shortcut. They pay to skip the months of trial and error. They pay for someone to hand them the structure instead of making them piece it together from 40 different YouTube videos and a stack of half-read books. Your workshop shouldn't be selling information. It should be selling a faster, clearer path to a result your audience is already hungry for. This is where most women get it backward. And again, it's not their fault because nobody taught us this. Most women start by asking themselves,
what do I know that I could teach?
And I get it because that feels like the natural starting point, right? But the question that builds a workshop people will pay for is,
what transformation does my audience want? And what do I know that gets them there faster?
See the difference? One of those questions starts with you, the other starts with them. And paying customers only show up for themselves. Now let's talk about why this matters far beyond just one workshop though, because I don't want you thinking small here. Your 9 to 5 was never meant to be your only income stream. And a workshop, when done right, isn't just a one-time event. It's proof. It's proof that people will pay you for the transformation you can deliver, which means it's also proof that you have something bigger sitting inside of you. Multiple streams of income isn't a luxury, it's safety. And a paid workshop is one of the fastest ways to test whether your skill has income potential before you build anything bigger around it. A workshop is low risk, it's low overhead, and it tells you with paying customers instead of guesses whether or not you're onto something. Think about what that means for your timeline. A course can take months to build, a certification program even longer, and that's before you've even sold a single spot. A workshop can be built, promoted, and sold in a matter of weeks, sometimes days. And speed matters because it means you don't have to bet 6 months of your life on an unproven idea. You get to find out fast with people who pay you and give you feedback whether or not this is worth building out into something bigger. And if it works, you've just created your first repeatable income stream outside of your paycheck. You created something that didn't exist in your life a month ago. And that's not a small thing, y'all. That's the difference between a financial plan that lives inside your company's budget meeting and a financial plan that has a second engine decision you completely control. Now let's get into the part that makes a workshop sellable. First, your workshop needs a single specific problem, not learn about marketing or improve your mindset. I mean a specific, almost uncomfortably narrow promise. Something like, by the end of this workshop, you'll have written the exact email sequence that gets you your first paying client. Why? Because specific promises sell and vague promises get scrolled right past. Second, your workshop needs real urgency, not manufactured urgency. This isn't about fake countdown timers and
only 3 spots left
when you know you have unlimited spots. It's about timing it to something. Maybe it's the start of a new quarter, or the moment someone's tired of waiting, or the point where staying the same has become more painful than trying something new. The third thing your workshop needs, and this is the piece almost everybody skips, your workshop needs a bridge. People don't usually go from
"I've never heard of you"
to
"I'll pay for your workshop"
in one single step. They need a small, free taste first, something that proves you know what you're talking about before they're ready to pull out their credit card. Think about the difference between 2 workshops on the exact same topic. Let's say time management for working women, for example. One workshop was hosted by someone with a massive following, a vague title, and something like mastering your time. That workshop barely sold. The other workshop was hosted by someone with a few hundred followers, but her title said the 90-minute system for getting your evenings back without quitting your job. Same topic, different result. The second workshop sold out because the promise told the buyer exactly what their life would look like on the other side. And I want you to notice something here. None of this has to do with how many followers you have, how long you've been doing this, or whether or not you have a certification hanging on your wall. Structure matters more than credentials. Structure matters more than audience size. A workshop with a direct promise, honest urgency, and a clear bridge will outsell a workshop from someone with 10 times the following and none of the structure. I want you to really understand that, because if you've been telling yourself you're not far enough along to charge for a workshop, that belief was never true. I want you to drop the word income down in the comments if this is shifting something for you, because what I'm about to share next is exactly how to put this structure to work, starting with the very first income stream you build. I created a free training that breaks down exactly how to build a skills-based income stream. Inside, you'll learn the mistake most women make in the first 30 days that kills momentum before it even starts. I'll teach you why structure matters more than credentials or a huge audience to make this work. If you commented income, check back for a reply from me with the details. Now let's go back to that Zoom room one more time. The one I talked about at the beginning of this video where the weight room counter was stuck at 0. I don't want you to think of that as proof of failure. I want you to remember it as the moment you were missing one piece. The skills you have was never the problem. They still aren't. What's missing in that example that I gave was the promise, the urgency, and the bridge, and now you have all 3. Your skills are your backup plan, your leverage, and your next stream of income. And a paid workshop might be the very first place that kickstarts everything for you. Not because of the money it brings in on its own, though let's be clear, the money matters too, but because of what it proves. It proves that the thing you've been good at for years is something a stranger will pull out their credit card for. And once you've seen that proof, you stop waiting for permission and you start building like the businesswoman you already are. But building that workshop from scratch, figuring out the promise, the pricing, the bridge, the pitch, all of it through trial and error can take you months that you don't have. And that's exactly why I built 2K in 2 hours. It walks you through turning what you already know into a paid offer that's structured to convert without having to guess your way through it. You don't need another idea sitting in your notes app. You need the framework that turns that idea you already have into income. If you're ready to stop sitting on skills that are worth more than you think, the link for 2K in 2 hours is down in the description, or you can visit my website at herincomeedit.com/2K. If you're new here, my name is Nick Scott, and I help women turn their existing skills into coaching income, digital products, and online businesses. Before you go, if you've ever felt successful on paper but somehow still feel trapped, like you're doing everything right and still stuck, go watch this video next, okay? I'll see you there.